Welcome to the Art Project. We're going to do a little art today and talk about Inktober a little bit as well and visit an old sketchbook of mine.
All right. Lots of things going through my head right now. Main thing going through my head is Inktober. If you don't know about Inktober, let me tell you a little bit about it. It was started by a guy named Jake Parker. Pretty awesome idea that he had was just challenging himself, I think, to 31 days of art, just drawing something every day for 31 days, building a habit. And I've done it every year for a few years now. Have not always been 100% successful in terms of like finishing it, but I've done it every year, and I'm going to try and do it again this year. With that being said, let me tell you a couple of things, I guess, about it. Number one, I've done some different series. One year I did a skull every day using the prompts that he gives, the official Inktober prompts by Jake Parker. Then the next year, I think I did all faces. So every Inktober, every prompt that I tried to do, I tried to incorporate faces into it. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do this year. But recently, I have been delving into some older stuff I did back in 2011, so like 10 years ago. This is an old sketchbook right here. Got a picture of Albert Einstein on the front. But one of the things that I did a lot that I really enjoyed was this like series of things with knots. The knot is not really the most important thing, but knots were fun to draw, and so they ended up being predominant. If you look at the whole body of work, here's another one. It's got a flower, knot, a drip, a diamond. My flowers are kind of 3D, like cut out of wood or something. Knot pictures that I did. Some of them really great, some of them just ideas. This one I like a lot. It's actually my house upside down, the knot and a tree, and you can kind of look at it both ways. Here's a chickadee, messy hair, the knot tied to a rat. Here is a wasp, a bumblebee. It is a wasp. I don't know, maybe it's bumblebee. With a straw tied in a knot that goes into like a sonic cup. I don't even know. The Holy Bible, a knot, the leaves of a flower, but a lemon, actually a lime instead, with a heart-shaped hole in it. At least I think another flower knot. I don't know what that is. Maybe a peach or something. I can't remember. That was 10 years ago. Right. So that's what's on my mind. My latest sketchbook, most recent sketchbook, and I've got a lot of things going on, but I recently started to revisit the flower and the knots. There's another one, and another one. I like this one a lot right here. This is kind of fun. It's a diamond, a knot that goes into like a tree root system that's growing from a skull. It's got a bird in a cage. Again, I don't know exactly where all this is coming from. This is my brain, y'all. And so I think I'm going to attempt to do this page right here, and this has nothing really to do with Inktober. Inktober hasn't started yet. I'm going to do a little drawing right here for kicks and giggles on YouTube.
So, gotta have a root beer to start this off. Went back to my drawing in my book that I like the most as a reference photo. These two pages are covered in some pages from an old dictionary that I found. It was an old Webster dictionary. I really hate to have torn pages out of it, but the whole book was kind of falling apart and destroyed anyway. So rather than it going to the garbage can, which is where it was headed, I saved it and I'm making some art out of it. I'm roughing in the drawing that I want to do, which is a combination of a knot from a particular drawing that I did previously, a heart-shaped plug from another drawing from my old sketchbook, and this diamond from another previous drawing. So once I got it roughed out, I started adding the ink. I'm using a G2 nib and a nib holder. I forgot where the nib holder was, what brand it is. I'll try and post links to it down below in the description. I'm using Bombay ink cleaner to clean the ink off my brush. I'm using mostly FW ink to do the majority of the drawing. Also using assortment of paintbrushes to fill in various areas. I'm sort of whiting out the book around the picture just to give it a little bit more contrast. I don't want to obliterate the book pages at all. I don't want to obliterate them totally, so I'm kind of making it thick up close to it and then dry brushing it out so you can still see through it. And you'll notice in a minute with the ink that I'm using, it's a little bit transparent in some places, especially the red and the green, and so you'll still see a lot of the book through that. It just makes for an interesting painting. Another thing to consider here, Inktober aside, like I'm not even dealing with Inktober just yet. These are just some ideas that I've had for it, but this is just, a page in my sketchbook, and I have seen a lot of pages that have really inspired me from other artists on Instagram, and I think you ought to check out Instagram, do a search for artists, and see what they've got. Some really, really, really good stuff. And so this is just kind of a more therapeutic than anything. Not so much preparation, although I am thinking about doing this for Inktober, but just therapy. Just sit down and draw for a little bit. If it is frustrating for you to sit down and draw for a little bit, then you haven't drawn long enough. Once you get good at it and understand it a little bit better and are a little bit more proficient at it, then it just becomes wonderful, amazing therapy. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below. It's your turn to go make some art.